Orofino, Idaho. I don't know if we ever went here before, but it's really beautiful here. This is really nice up in here. This feels like home. It's a lot like Coeur d'Alene right here. This is Orofino, just up above the town. It's I'm heading to Elk River. Never been there. It's just the back roads. I'm hoping they're safe, and so far they look all right. We're up high enough. We got some snow, so we'll see how it goes. But I mean, look at this life these people have. It's amazing. Living up here. Gorgeous. Gorgeous day. We'll try to find a campground. You are blessed, whoever you are. Beautiful. Look at this. The way it should be. Let's get going. What's up, guys? Come on now. We're standing right there. This is the most I want to put my car through because it is not good on the snow. Look at this slide. I don't have any chains, and I don't really need chains, but you would benefit from snow tires with a better grip, and I don't have that. So this is okay though, as long as it's like this, I know how to do it. But any worse than this, I don't really like. That's all right. Definitely wintertime. Now this is March. No, March? Yeah. March 4th, whatever. Still got a foot of snow up here. It's awesome. I love it. Look at this. I mean, what? I love this. This is the kind of place I grew up, guys. Exactly like this. This is why I think I'm always chasing the woods and saying, get back to the woods, get the woods. I gotta just come back to Idaho. I'm just gonna have to move back here. This is the kind of road I learned to drive on. Just like this with snow and ice. These thick pine trees, fir trees, just beautiful. I don't like being up here with this particular tires I got, but I think we're okay. I hope. Here we go. Let's just go carefully. All right, gotta focus. I think I really like this area. And it's funny. It's exactly what it is. It's Idaho. You know, every little piece of, oh, look at that. What is that? A reservoir of some kind. Every little place I've gone around the country, whenever I get sort of close to this, I get excited, but I'm not quite, it's not quite enough. This is it right here. Idaho is enough. Montana is very similar to this too. I want to check that out as well. This is a forest. You know, when you go to the forest in Florida, state forest, it doesn't look like that. Okay? This is an actual natural forest, and that's what I've been missing. I love the snow. I love the used to ride my horse up into that kind of thing, walk up in the hills. It's bringing back a lot of memories, and I think I've locked into my plan. It's gonna have to be Idaho. And I did like that area of Modoc up in the right corner of California. Maybe a little spot up there as well. An acre or two, we'll see. Time to start planning. This is beautiful. I remember coming down ski hills as a kid in Sandpoint, for example. Way worse than this, and it was terrifying. All the way down, crisscrossing, cutting back. No snow tires. Man, this is a gorgeous area. Look at this, guys. Never been here before, but I kind of knew what it would look like when I looked at the map. I kind of knew, I kind of hoped it would look like this. We'll see. And I don't know if this is national forest here or private land. I don't know. We're headed to Elk City. If I can get there. Oh, good. Looks like they plowed it really well right here. Look at that. Okay, I like it. I don't know if there's any land available and how many billions it'll cost, but you know you're in the right place when it says elk crossing on the sign, which you just did back there. So, all right, tell me this. I don't know what road that is. Huh. Probably could have taken that one. Look at that. Oh man, Orofino, Idaho. I had no idea. I've heard about Orofino all my life, of course, but I thought it was more like, ooh, that's a hill. I thought it was something else. This is incredible. Let's get on down to Elk City. All right, I'm gonna go right over there. I think I see the most incredible view of the trip, so let's take a look. I'm gonna have to walk through this, which is all so fun. I miss it. I tell you, I miss it. Everybody complains about winter, and I know that if I lived here, it might be, you know, you get tired of it. But man, I miss this. So let's take a look. Oh my goodness. All right. I'll put my cabin right here. This is exactly where I would put a cabin if I had that ability. Look at that. With a hawk flying right there. This is quite a place. I am on top of the world here. This is the roof. March 4th, 23. I am so glad to be back here. I feel good. My family was saying, oh, it sounds like you're reconnecting with yourself. It's true. This is what I've been missing. This isn't even where I grew up, but this is actually empty of people. Where I grew up now in Coeur d'Alene looks like this, but it's full of Californians. It's just full of people. They've overrun it and turned it into not this, but Idaho still has some of this, thank God. Whew. Gotta love it. This road is kind of sketchy. I've been going really slow. Second gear all the way. Because this car is terrible. I mean, that's full brakes locked up. I mean, it won't, you gotta be really, use your gears and go slow around these corners. A couple times almost went into the bank, and then I'd be stuck up here for a day until somebody finds me. Hope they have some way to get me out. I'm not doing that. Look at these. Look at this though. I wanted to share this beautiful winter spot. Now, I wouldn't have tried this if I hadn't seen that they plowed this and it's a pretty good pack. There's been a couple sketchy spots. Oh, look at that snow falling out of the sky. Oh, it's beautiful. This is beautiful up here. This is all paper company land, so there's no camping up here. I couldn't get to it anyway. It's all plowed in, but this beautiful forest, and you'll turn a corner and you'll see they've stripped the mountains. It just pisses me off what they've done, what they do. And I'm sure they're gonna do it to these trees soon enough because they're getting bigger. It's just vile. All bare hills is because they have just stripped them of trees. Oh well. You can tell they did it here a few years ago. Look how small these are. Now some of this could be fire, but I don't think so, because I've seen the logging machines up in here. You can really tell when it gets logged. All right, I got 7 miles to go. It's only gonna take me half a day to get there. It's a pretty drive though. A little nerve-wracking. Oh, here we go, sliding there. But it's a beautiful drive. Just loving the snow. Pretty deep too. It's the kind of stuff we used to run and play in right there. Man, what a day. Finally got to Elk River, which is a little snowmobile town. Now we're headed up towards, I don't know where. Somehow we're gonna get to Coeur d'Alene. But we're going the back way. Creek Falls Road, I don't know. Anyway, finally got on a real road. That was a 49-mile drive. It took me 4 hours. That shows you how fast I went. But we made it. And got to talk to Leah there. She owns the lodge, and she's selling it for $1 million, which would be cool. I don't have $1 million, but she gave me some good information about the area. Oh, Elk Creek Falls here she's talking about. Okay, there's some good falls, but I'm just not gonna go any further today. We got it on cinematic here. I don't know what it looks like. This is a new iPhone feature. Hopefully this video looks cool. Kind of does like the portrait effect on the video, so we'll see how it looks. All right, Coeur d'Alene. I think we're gonna go through St. Mary's and come in the back way. So now here's what they do with the paper. Look at this. Look how they strip these hills. Infuriating. And I think they do this way out here where nobody sees it. This whole thing has been cut down. There's got to be a better way, guys. You know, don't use so much wood. I don't know, something. I see it all over the country. It's so maddening. John Muir would be furious. Let's go. I'm going to interject right here and just let you know I'm watching this now as I'm editing it. This next section is it's special to me. This is the house, and I'm going to explain this in the video, but this is the home that I grew up in, that I always go back to in my mind. Do you have a place like that when you're a kid? Maybe I don't know if everybody does, but for me, and this wasn't an easy time in my life. This was kind of a chaotic, rough time. We weren't wealthy. It was rough. We lived in this, this area here was very remote. We'd just come up from California. We were California kids moving into a small town in Idaho, and they looked at us like aliens. It was hard to be in school, from California. It was rough. So we were the outsiders. Didn't understand the weather, didn't understand the people. And also there was nobody there at the time. You're going to see later, I think in this video, Spirit Lake is now, it used to be a small town of like 500 people. And now it's blowing up because a lot of people are moving in there, just like all of Idaho in the Northwest. But when we lived there, there was no neighbors for 100 miles. There was a town that had one gas station, and I think it still only has one gas station. But, I mean, there was nothing there. My 6th grade class, which I'm going to later show in the video here, in my elementary school, which has not changed much, I think we had 20 people, maybe 15 kids. That just gives you an idea that we were just out of our element. But this house you're going to see coming up, my grandfather, my father built, and my mother, I would have to say. We all had a part in this. I remember pouring the basement as kids. They built it. My dad brought in a log kit company who did the shell,
and then he framed and sheetrocked everything inside. It took years. I don't think we ever finished it. I didn't film it because I thought it was wrong, but the person that's living in it now, I knocked on the door and he let me in. I hadn't been in that house since I was a child. It's very cool. It's exactly like I remember it, and then slightly different. Much smaller than you remember. I walked in, I was like, wow, this is smaller than I remember, because now you're an adult. But also he had finished it out and done some, somebody had done some updates. But there is something to be said, and I know not everybody gets to have this. There's something to be said about you're standing in a home that your father built. Your grandfather built the fireplace. Together, your mother and your father cut the tile that laid it on the floor, and you were there when, the doors were put in and the sink was put in, and it's fascinating, the feeling that that's a special thing. And I really wish they could have hung on to that house. It's nothing special. If you look at it in the video, it's like, it's not a mansion. It's a cool little house. That house is worth about, if I'm not mistaken, $700,000 now. It's 10 acres in that little log cabin. When my parents sold it in the 80s, late 80s, they sold it for like $60,000, $65,000 for a 10-acre custom log home house that's now worth almost $1 million. That shows you the crazy level of absurdity of the prices of property in that area of the country. Granted, time has gone by. It's been a few years, obviously, but it's just insane. And had they been able to, and this is a regret that I have as with my own kids, if I'd been able to hang on to that one property, just hang on to it for 30 years, it'd be worth millions. Not to mention the emotional attachment to it, because we grew up in that house. It was before high school. It was before junior high. It was where I had my horses. It's where we had chickens. We had a garden, and we had room to run. And me and my brothers and my little baby sister, we could run into those woods and disappear all day for days. And that's never left me. And it still drives me today, and I realize that's what I've been searching for. Since I began this channel, if you've watched me, I've driven all over this country. I do it all the time. I travel, I live in my RV. That boondocking, nomadic thing really started in Spirit Lake, Idaho. So you're about to see the house that Randy and Earl built, and I'll say Linda as well, my mom, built this house. So I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. And to the day I die, I'm going to be proud that we were there. We built that. There's our house that we built. Try to get off this road without getting stuck. There it is. I'm going to go up there and see if they'll let me just take a picture of it. Remember this hill that Dad would get stuck on? Well, let me concentrate. This is our old home. They put in a new barn and some other things. We had a chicken coop here. We had some gardening area. But anyway, here's the house. Leo, let me take a picture. Just want a quick video. Here's the hill we sled down. Here's the house. Here's where Misty threw weight off and he broke his arm. And then we used to sled down here. And that looks identical. That's crazy. Yep. And there. Yeah, so cool. Our old house. My father,
Grandfather built that. Told him if he wants to sell it, let me know. He said, you never know. He took my number. We also cleared all those trees, although they need to be cleared again, don't they? There it is. I'd like to buy that someday. I don't like this driveway, never have. It's a little sketchy. And I remember my dad building this very driveway. There's a logging road in here, right there. That goes through. We used to walk it. It's hard to see, but it's in there. 31518. None of these guys were here. This was all empty. All right, on Spirit Lake. This was the road we walked from the house to the bus stop. When we lived here, none of these people were here. None of these other lots were sold. In the snow just like this, down to the road. Well, I'm not going one way, I'm going this way. That one-way sign wasn't there before. I do not acknowledge it. Where we would get dropped off for the bus, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was right at these mailboxes. It's been 40 years now, maybe. This is the St. Joe Drive. This is Highway 53, Spirit Lake, Ethel. And we used to take the bus on out here and go right to go to Spirit Lake. Spirit Lake. Linger longer. The White Horse Saloon. Joe's Hole. These have been the same names since I was living here as a child. Some of this, it looks very similar. There used to be a big old building here that's been torn down. That was a turn of the century, 1800, 1890s. Like, you know, these are all kind of old style. It was actually like 1900 stone building, had an apothecary in there. It was awesome with the soda fountains and all that. Anyway, this is Spirit Lake, Idaho. Not much to it. It's growing, but it's about the same. It is bigger than when we were kids. And then we went to school right here. Not there. Coming up on the left. Oh man, this brings back memories. What a little hole in the wall place. believe it or not, this is 10 times bigger than it was. None of this stuff was really here. I think that was there. That wasn't there. There's the school. Only this half wasn't there. It was just this half. Spirit Lake Elementary. It was not fenced, to my knowledge. But it does look pretty much the same. 6th grade was right there. Somewhere out there on the swings, Wendy Klaus punched me in the face and her friends. Used to have a tether ball out here. This is it. We used to run and play on that thing, 6th grade. I guess Wade would have been in 4th grade. Maybe Trevor would have been in 3rd, maybe. Hard place to go to school. A lot of weird people live here. There were, anyway. Oh my God, I remember coming out this back door. This is insane. This is really weird. So none of this was here. All right, that's it. This building, obviously, I think has been here a long time. They've refurbished it. This wasn't here. I don't think. Not back then. Community center. I'll have to ask my friend if it was there. And then we're gonna go down to the lake, which is just down the street here. That old church has been there forever. This park was, I don't think this park was here. Maybe it was, I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time in the town. Maybe Laura knows, my friend Laura. She lived down here. And so, and when we were out here, we would go to school here and live in the house I just took a video of. So we had to ride the bus into here. Once we got into 7th grade, everybody from here had to go into Rathdrum, which is a good 20 miles down the road. And that was a pain. Because out here, as you can see, it's very dreary. Sun go down early, comes up late. So we went to school early in the morning in the dark, came home in the dark. It's dark by 3 o'clock out here. So, which is something I gotta remember when I'm looking for a place to park tonight. Back to here, and you go on downhill. I believe they've improved this road a little bit, but basically this is the road down to Spirit Lake. Laura used to live down in here. I don't know which house I'm gonna ask her. I know it's Shalazar Lane or something like that. Should be right here. Salashan. All right, let's see if we can find it. Well, I don't know which one of these, but I think one of these houses was Laura Woodland's house. She said it was a second one, but it was torn down. Now, so maybe it was here and they've taken it down, or it's one of these. I feel like it's probably that one. Not sure. There's not much left of the lake. It's draining and drying up. It's right over there. Let's go turn around. Jeez.
In 1.2 miles, turn left onto West Highway 54.
So weird. This is the school. Needs some maintenance. So weird to see something that is a part of your life. It seemed like forever, but really just a year or two. Spirit Lake Elementary. Silties Elementary, Post Falls. This is my 5th grade elementary school. If I remember right, that was Tracy's house right there. I believe we lived down here. Right there. I think. No. Maybe. No. Right here. Right there. One of these. I don't know which one. I think it was 709. Idaho Street and 16th.
So that last video was Post Falls, Idaho, where I grew up and finished high school, which was after Spirit Lake. But I wanted to put that all in there because I had a great visit. Just kind of seeing my childhood homes. I started in California, went back up to Idaho, Spirit Lake, and then Post Falls, where I graduated. And I wanted to share that with my family who may watch this, my brothers and parents. It's really an interesting feeling for me to go back and see these places. I've seen them over the years a couple of times after leaving there, but as I'm getting older and I'm realizing, those are the places in my memory. And if you have those places in your memory, they're special, even if they were bad or dramatic or traumatic, and they were. You still look at them and go, wow, I was standing there. My parents were standing there. My brothers were there. That's where I came home from basketball. That's where I did my homework. It's pretty amazing how we connect to those things emotionally. I truly believe that relationships are the most important thing and the purpose of our life as humans. With God first, our Creator, and then your family. And then your close friends. I mean, honestly, that's the most important thing that we have to do on this planet. And the places that you do it in, especially when you do things and, you grow up in a place with friends and family, that's also special. That the place is special. The air, the trees, the house. So I shared with you, what I filmed. I felt kind of melancholy, kind of sad, kind of happy. I miss so many people from that era. And many times, too, I think about people that I thought I'd hated or had problems with. And now I look back and think, we all were just kids going through things. And it's really interesting how time and wisdom, comes with age and comes with age. Experience. You start to look back on things and go, wow, I didn't see it that way, but now I do see I really do appreciate that I went through certain things with those people in that place. So I'll leave you with that. we got some more videos coming from Montana, which was one of the most amazing parts of my trip, coming up next. Thank you very much.